Hi, everybody. Today we are going to explore our brand new unit called Plate Tectonics. And the way that we're going to start this unit is kind of study and look at it in terms of how it first came to be, all the pieces that officially made it a theory and made it something that is really important in science, and that it's a critical theory about why our continents and how our continents and oceans form. So we're going to start by just going to the Google Slides that's on here today. Everything that you need to do is on the Google Slides. So I'm just going to run through and tell you what you need to do. So first off, you want to take a look at the first slide and just kind of take a look at it. This is our central question that we're trying to answer in this whole entire unit. How did our continents and oceans form? So just continue to take a look at this and read through the rest of it. When you get to slide two talks about a really famous person named Alfred Wegener, who was around in the early 1900s and was a scientist and a mathematician, and had some theories about how the earth moved and wondered why we have things like mountains and volcanoes and earthquakes and different kinds of features on land. And he didn't think it was a coincidence. He figured out that something was happening, and had a theory for it, and used some evidence to do that. So if you go to page 3, here is what his theory was. So please read about that. You've probably read a little bit or learned a little bit about it in elementary school. Once you've looked at this slide, click on this and watch the YouTube video that's associated with
Germany,
this.
1911.
It's just really quick and it's 2 minutes, but we'll give you a reminder of who Alfred Wegener is and what the continental drift theory is. And so the continental drift theory, even though it was created a while ago, had some evidence that Alfred Wegener said was a reason of why the Earth had once looked like this and was slowly separated and moving kind of into what it is now. It's called the continental drift theory. And if you go back to slide 4, here are some evidence. He said, first, some of the fossils are found on different continents. So these 3 fossils right here were examples of things that were found on different continents that were of the same age and the same type of fossil. Well, that's really strange if it's found on Africa and in North America and also in Asia, because how would some of these animals and plants that couldn't necessarily swim, especially across oceans, get onto these different places? How is it that they were found in several places? Kind of seems that maybe the land used to be connected and they had roamed the land, and then as it slowly separated, they were left on different continents. Similarly, he also said that there was rock and land that was on different continents that was really similar and of a similar age. And then he said, if you look at some of the continents in our world, they kind of fit together like puzzles, or kind of like a puzzle. They can actually make sense in how they fit together. So what you're going to try to do today is see if you think his theory holds up. Unfortunately, at the time, a lot of people did not believe him. But eventually, and now we know that his theory is true. But we're going to kind of look at it and see if we can support his theory today. So what you're going to need to do is go to slide 5 here and read the directions. Okay, basically what you're going to do on the next slide is or on the next 2 slides, you're going to move the continents around. I would recommend that you go back and look at how they're actually shaped and situated here, so you kind of have an idea of how they eventually form away from each other. But what you're going to do is go down to slide 7, and here we have all the continents. Okay, so this is supposed to be Australia, this is Africa, oh, I'm sorry, this one's Africa, this is South America, this is supposed to be North America, and this one is supposed to be Europe and Asia, and then we've got some others kind of scattered throughout here. What you have to try to do is see if you can put them together in similar shapes, or in a similar pattern. You want to look at where the fossils meet. Okay. And you also want to see where they fit. So if I'm looking at this, I kind of notice that, okay, here's South America, here's Africa. I kind of see that after moving them around a little bit, they kind of fit together. So it's a little tricky online. And we did this on paper at school, so it's a little better on paper. But if you move it around just right, you'll see that these kind of match up and fit into each other like a puzzle. And if I'm really looking at it, and I didn't do a very good job, But if I'm really looking at matching them up together, I also see that the fossils kind of line up. So here's the green band of fossils, here's the blue band, here's the red band. Kind of makes sense that maybe these two continents used to be kind of nestled close to each other in this formation. Then I can try matching up some of the others. So look for similar symbols. All the symbols are on slide 6. And just give it a try for a couple minutes. Try to put them around to where you think they could all make one giant mega planet. Then when you're done, I want you to answer questions 1 and 2 on slide 8 in complete sentences, please. And then try answering number 9 or 3 on slide 9 in complete sentences. Okay? And just do your best to try to guess what you think happened and what you think eventually how the theory kind of eventually ended up proving itself. So that is your job today. Try to spend just a little bit of time, and it's okay if you can't put all the consonants together in a way that you think makes sense, but give it a try. Then try answering in complete sentences question 1, 2, and then 3. And when you're all done, you can submit it and you are done for the day. We will talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. Okay, have a good one.